Hello everybody and welcome back for some first impressions on the latest VR game releases. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. Previously, I was calling this segment the VR Smash or Pass, and while the format will remain roughly the same, I'm changing up the name and a few other things that was a little juvenile, but again, that's what it was all about. Do you want to smash through these games or just pass on them altogether? Now today, I have everything from a title that absolutely blew me away, something that looks intriguing, another game that disappointed me, and one that is so unique that I really enjoyed it, but I don't think it's going to be for everyone. Now, there are, of course, links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by my long-term partner, Kiwi Design. Kiwi's currently running a massive sale on their Quest head straps, and you can get up to 30% off right now. There's a link to Kiwi down in the description, and don't forget to use my discount code for 5% off and to help support this channel. Okay, so let's start right off with a game that absolutely blew my mind this week, and that is Zero Caliber 2. A sequel to the critically acclaimed first-person shooter is coming soon, and I never in my wildest dreams expected it was going to be this good. Now, I already have access to this entire game and all the information you want to know about it, so I'm going to drop that in just a second, but I will say I'm currently working with a fairly early build. There's a long list of changes and updates they're planning to make that they told me about. I gotta say, as it stands right now, with its rough edges and incompleteness, not really incomplete, just waiting on changes, it's still freaking impressive. This is basically like a 2010 super awesome campaign that you'd get from Call of Duty. Back before Call of Duty sucked, you know, before it went off the rails, when you used to get a solid, really good military style campaign, which is very actiony, things blowing up, you know, tons of enemies invading. That's what you get from this game, and I can't say it enough. I was extremely impressed. When this drops, it's going to be a must play. Now, if you want me to stop rambling and just give you those details, here they are. Zero Caliber 2 is releasing in July for the MetaQuest headset. It'll be $29.99, featuring a single-player story-driven campaign that's over 8 hours, a 4-player co-op option, 5v5 multiplayer gameplay modes, a progression system with over 59 unlockable weapons, attachments, and skins. And it's also coming with support for B-haptics and advanced modding. That's right, guys, you'll be able to make your own missions, maps, weapons, sound effects, and even characters. But honestly, what intrigued me the most was that single-player campaign. It was just adrenaline-inducing, heart-pounding, like a good old-fashioned Call of Duty campaign. I was really getting into it. I was breaching through a suburban area and just taking out tons of guys with a shotgun. It felt good. It doesn't have to be super realistic. It just has to be fun. I loved it. It's not like a full-on military sim. This is more of an action game, and I was digging it. It was really cool. So honestly, guys, wishlist this game. I'm already impressed and can't wait to see what it looks like when it fully releases. Now, the next game I checked out this week was the demo for Astro Hunter VR. It's currently available on Steam Summerfest if you want to go check it out for yourself. And while I wouldn't say this is exactly my style, it definitely left me quite intrigued. Astro Hunter VR is an extraction shooter, but what sets it apart from other games is the fact that it's in a sci-fi world. It kind of felt like I was stepping into No Man's Sky. So just imagine No Man's Sky as an extraction shooter. That's the best way to describe this. But like I said, this is an exciting new direction for the extraction shooter. It's probably not for me. I don't really think I'll get into it, but I love that No Man's Sky type of feel and world setting. You know, the fact that everything was new and unique definitely caught my attention. And if it turns out to be really good, yeah, I'll definitely jump in a few more times and see if it grows on me. But I've never been a big fan of that genre itself. I don't know. I just never really got into it just yet. Now, the demo is showcasing some fantastic graphics, tons of mechanics, and again, a uniqueness that we don't typically see in this genre. Now, there were definitely a few rough edges. Bad guys seem to materialize out of nowhere. I struggled trying to complete some basic tasks. And worst of all, as the demo currently stands, there's just no tutorial, so you're forced to figure out everything the hard way, and that does get a bit frustrating. Now, it wouldn't be typical life without some disappointment, and that's where the game Neon Tactics comes in. This is a turn-based tactical action game set in a cyberpunk-style world. Personally, I love this genre, and what else had me excited was the fact that it comes from Tin Man Games, the same studio that gave us Table of Tales. If you haven't tried Table of Tales, I highly recommend it. I found it really cute, adorable, strategic, fun, great story, great narration. Honestly, a lot to like about it if it's your style. It's definitely not for everybody. However, this is like a huge step back. This game felt like an App Lab game that's still in development, maybe like a year or two out. This is the alpha version you show to somebody to get money, to get them to buy in. I think tactically it's sound. The combat can be really cool. There's a huge upgrade system. I like many aspects of it, but it's super ugly. A huge step back from Tale of Tales. The voice acting was atrocious. I just suffered through it. Like, I wanted to play the game. I wanted to get into it, and it was just rough across the board. I feel like Tin Man Games took like one person from their studio and said, yeah, sure, you want to make a game? Fine. Yeah, here's $10. I know I'm really pushing too hard on this one, but this was a huge disappointment here because I think they're onto something. I think they have a solid foundation, but it just didn't get the love, attention, money, support, whatever it is that Tale of Tales did. It is a huge downgrade. And when we live in a world where other tabletop style games like Demeo exist, this game almost has no right to exist. I'm sorry. It is just ugly. And there's no like real good tutorial. There's no storyline, no hook. And I went to play it online, and lo and behold, there's not a single person on. So that says everything. Honestly, super disappointed on this one. I don't know what happened. But let's move on to our last game. Now, staying on the topic of games that are just not for everyone, we have Zengence. I will, however, say, unlike Neon Tactics, this is a solid title. This is a truly unique experience, and I love whenever VR does that. Zengence is basically a combination of something like Pistol Whip with a mental focus game. I know that sounds weird and unique, and it is. Like I said, not for everyone, but I enjoyed it. I'm not going to give you too much detail on this. Just I'll whet your appetite a little bit, see if it's for you, because I'm going to do a full video on this. Anytime something is unique and surprises me, I want to do a full video. Just because I like when VR goes in that direction, when it surprises us. Even if it's not for everyone, just it opens up your mind, gets you to think about different things, and that's exactly what Zengence did. This is the first VR game designed to help your mental focus. They tell you to only play around 15 minutes a day and 45 minutes for the entire week to help increase your overall well-being, mental clarity, and breath work. There's a whole bunch of different mechanics designed to increase your focus and keep you moving. I honestly felt a nice little uplift after playing this game for the first time for 15 minutes, got some really good breath work down. It took a little while to focus on everything. There's a music element, there's a breathing element, you gotta dodge stuff. So to keep everything in line takes a little work, but I started, silver starring levels and then gold starring, and I started feeling good. Definitely a solid title. Like I said, I'm going to talk more about it later in the week. Now, I want to know what you guys think about these games. Let me know down in the comments. Do these look cool to you? Do they look crappy? I just love hearing your feedback. End the video with this.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for my daddy. Bye.